A person's mental health can be positively or negatively affected in so many ways. And one of them is through the kinds of compliments you give to an individual. A compliment that is positive and uplifting can help an individual feel better about themselves. Here are instances of what a positive or negative compliment can sound like.
Manners on the go.
Hello and welcome to Manners on the Go. I want to believe it's been a wonderful week so far, and I hope you're minding your manners as well. I appreciate you for always cheering me on, and you've been following me for some time. You're welcome again. If it's your first time today, you are in the right place. You're most welcome. A person's mental health can be positively or negatively affected in so many ways, and one of them is through the kinds of compliments you give to an individual. Some words can be very uplifting and help someone feel better about themselves, but some compliments can be hurtful and lead to mental health problems. It is important to know that not all negative effects of certain compliments are intentional, and it's important to keep in mind that just because you complimented someone in a certain way does not mean that it will harm their mental well-being. Here are instances of what a positive or negative compliment can sound like. A compliment that is positive and uplifting can help an individual feel better about themselves. A compliment that is negative, on the other hand, can have the opposite effect on someone's self-esteem. An example of a positive and uplifting compliment would be, "Your hair looks great today." While an example of a negative and hurtful compliment would sound like this, "Your hair looks so greasy, like you haven't washed it in weeks." Now that is hurtful. Another way a compliment can be either positive or negative is by how it was delivered. If you deliver your compliments through a cheerful tone and with friendly facial expressions, then it will leave a positive impression on the person receiving them. However, if you deliver your compliments through an angry tone or with a mean facial expression, then it will leave a negative impact on the individual. Also, giving a conditional kind of compliment may not sit well. This is what I mean. For example, when you tell your friend or colleague, "Your new hairstyle looks so good on you, you should consider it more often." Though it may sound like a mix of a compliment and advice, but you might also be unintentionally telling them that their old hairstyle or even previous hairstyles were bad. And what happens is that they will now feel guilty about the way they used to look. Though not all may think in such a pattern, it's of great importance to carefully choose your words before speaking. Your compliments should be straightforward without having to place a boundary or condition around it. Another example would be if you told your coworker, "I love that idea of yours, but I believe there are smarter ways to go around it." You should probably replay that and hear how it sounds. You see, when you include the word "but" in a compliment, it just has a way of ruining whatever good intentions you might have. You might be unintentionally telling him or her that he or she isn't as smart as they think. This can lead to slow self-esteem and negative thought pattern, which may cause them to withdraw from contributing the next time. There are many ways a compliment can affect someone's mental health, and it depends on the person receiving them as well. For example, if you tell your mom, especially an African mom, that your hairstyle looks good on you, and they reply with "I know," it can leave a negative impression on you. It shows that they are aware of how they look anyway and make you feel self-conscious. In other words, both the giver and receiver of compliments should be kind in their words and response. Certain compliments should not be said at all because they have adverse effects on an individual's mental health. An example would be telling someone, "You look so much better in a skirt than in pants." Or, "This straight wig looks so nice on you. You should consider growing your hair out again." These kinds of compliments can make the individual overthink, misinterpret, or even feel bad about themselves, thus harming their mental well-being. As simple as these things are, they have a way of getting through to people. Like I said earlier, some may not mind the way you choose to compliment them, while many others do. And because you wouldn't know which category an individual falls into, just work best with the soothing words you have and put a genuine smile on someone's face. You don't know whose life you're saving with the right kind of compliment. The whole idea of a positive compliment is to make sure people don't get the wrong impression of your intentions. If you give a compliment and you think it doesn't sit well with the other person receiving it, you should rephrase and make it as clear as possible for better understanding. Being in the habit of giving compliments helps us realize and appreciate what's good and what we like in those around us. This daily practice tricks our brain into focusing more on the positive, which in turn creates a more overall optimistic and happier outlook to life. If you know you've hurt someone with your words, you should consider changing for the better. And if you think you might have unintentionally given the wrong compliments before, you can share it in the comments for others to learn too. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to share with your friends and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Thank you and see you again. Goodbye.
Manners on the Go.